let's move in to the next topic of today's show, which is ESPN. So obviously there are several, how should I put this? Sports analyst sites, sports news sites, whatever case you might put out there. ESPN is by far the biggest one. Well, ESPN recently released an article where they put out their top 100 most valuable players in the NFL. Now, here's the thing, folks. When you think about most valuable players in the NFL, you're usually thinking of teams like the Cowboys, the Eagles, the 49ers, the Chiefs, teams like that. Teams that got a lot of superstars on them, household names, blah, 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 blah. Well, would it surprise you that 3 Detroit Lions players actually got on to the list of the top 100 most valuable players in the NFL this year? That actually surprised me because I thought the NFL's not going to give the Lions any sort of recognition. They're not going to give them any sort of recognition. But in fact, the ESPN article writer said that there were three Lions were in the top 100 most valuable players in the NFL this year. That totally floored me. And what even further floored me was the 3 players that was selected. First player was Jared Goff, quarterback. Next player was Amon-Ra St. Brown, wide receiver. And the last player was Aiden Hutchinson, the defensive edge rookie that we just got. Now, obviously, I think there should be more Lions players on that list, in my opinion. Penei Sewell should be on that list, definitely, in my opinion. He is by far one of the best right tackles in the business. Absolutely should be on that list. There's a couple of others that I could probably make an argument for, but the biggest snubs, I think, would be Taylor Decker and Penei Sewell. Those two are some of the best tackles, offensive tackles in this business. They absolutely deserve the recognition to be on that list. But they didn't. What surprised me more so than just that Jared Goff, Amon-Ra St. Brown, and Aiden Hutchinson got on the list was where they were ranked on the list. First and foremost, Jared Goff was ranked number 15 overall on the list. So he cracked the top 20 on ESPN's list. But what made it even further intriguing was that out of all the quarterbacks, Jared Goff was ranked 8th on the list. And he was the highest ranked NFC quarterback in the entire NFL on that list. That floored me. I was like, wow. ESPN, the NFL, really has reevaluated their position on Jared Goff, much like I said they were going to on my private channel, the Detroit Lions Forum. I kept telling people for years, 2 years, a full time, that I kept saying, listen, Jared Goff is a lot better than what these supposed analysts have been telling you. I kept saying it for years. I said, Stephen A., he's wrong. Colin Cowherd, he's wrong. And all these other guys, Dan Orlowski, Chris Sims, I said every single one of these supposed analysts, they are wrong in how they view Jared Goff. And it's funny how after Jared Goff has one good year and kind of gives a shot of life back into his career in this 1 year here in Detroit, oh my Lord, Jared Goff now is a top 10 quarterback for some people again. It's just kind of like, hey, I told you so. But then you take a look at these other guys. Amon-Ra St. Brown, he was ranked number 43rd on that list. Top 50. And then Aiden Hutchinson, he was ranked number 80. So it's like these guys actually got some recognition. I think Amon-Ra St. Brown was rated a little bit too low because it's like, dude, the amount of production he's put in just 2 years in the NFL is just absolutely mind-boggling. He got most of his rookie production in the last, 6 or 7 games last year. He had over 100 receptions in this year alone, had over 1,100 yards, 6 touchdown receptions. It's like, dude, in two very short years, he has emerged as one of the best young wide receivers in the game, without a doubt. As far as Aiden Hutchinson is concerned, I think actually he's ranked right about where he should be. He had himself a really good year, 9.5 sacks. He had 3 interceptions, which is absolutely just mind-boggling for a defensive lineman. That has not happened since 1990 when Hall of Famer Richard Dent of the Bears did it. And he had all these other accolades that went along with him. But he is a rookie. Most rookies are not going to get that highest valuable commodity until about another year or two down the road. But the fact that a rookie defensive lineman, Aiden Hutchinson, got into the top 100 of most valuable NFL players, according to ESPN, along with Amon-Ra St. Brown and Jared Goff, that ought to tell you something. The narrative, the mindset, the attitude that the NFL has towards the Detroit Lions has completely changed. It has completely and utterly changed because they're getting that recognition. They're getting that validation. Chuck Osborne says that's great that the Detroit Lions players are getting respect. Patty Grimes says that Goff is not as bad as people say he is. Possum Boy 9 says that Goff is only 28. Chuck Osborne says that Jared Goff is a really good quarterback. And again, I have said this before many times on my private channel. I've said that several times because if y'all don't know who I am, for those that are going to watch this post-stream or that are in-stream, I have been probably the biggest Jared Goff Detroit Lions podcaster supporter that is out there. There's no doubt about that. When it comes to Jared Goff, when it comes to the Lions, when it comes to St. Brown, when it comes to Aiden Hutchinson, these players have deserved the recognition that they have gotten. They've deserved the recognition because they put in the work, they put in the time, and you can see the results out on the field. Like I just said with Amon-Ra St. Brown, the amount of production he has put up in 2 very short seasons is just absolutely crazy. It's mind-numbing. It's mind-blowing. The fact that Aiden Hutchinson almost had a 10-sack and 3 interception season in his rookie year, absolutely mind-blowing. The fact that Jared Goff was ranked top 10 in every single statistical category of measure for quarterbacks and was even ranked top 5 in some of them, dude, you would be absolutely crazy if you didn't give the Lions their credit. And to further add insult to injury, let's just take a look at what the Lions themselves as a team did this year, going from 1-6 to 9-8 and being 1 game removed from the playoffs. The Lions have totally gotten and deserved the respect that they're getting, and I cannot wait until next year when we can build further as a team upon that respect and validate it even further.